I caught my billionaire boss's fiancée cheating, and watched karma crush her. I'm just the gardener, clipping rose bushes and keeping the lawns of this billionaire family's Beverly Hills estate pristine. Been doing this for years across California's richest zip codes, from Malibu to Montecito, tending to the manicured lives of folks who wear Gucci like it's Walmart and jet off to Aspen on a whim. NGL, I've seen it all, family feuds, secret affairs, you name it. But nothing hit like that night at the engagement party for Leroy and Tracy. Damn, that was a plot twist even Night Shyamalan couldn't dream up. It's a warm evening, string lights twinkling over the infinity pool, champagne flowing like water. The family's throwing a bash to celebrate Leroy, real estate tycoon with a custom Tom Ford suit, getting engaged to Tracy, a former model dripping in Dior. Everyone's there, big shots in Rolexes, sipping Dom Perignon, posting to Instagram like it's their job. I'm trimming hedges near the guest house, minding my business, when I hear raised voices. Leroy's pacing by the pool, his face like stone, clutching his phone. His best friend Chad, all swagger in a Balenciaga jacket, is grinning like he just won the lottery. Tracy's nowhere to be seen. I keep my head down, former Marine, I know when to stay out of the line of fire, but I catch Leroy showing his brother Derek some texts. She's been with him for months, Leroy mutters, voice low but sharp. Chad had the nerve to say she was never mine. I glance over, see Chad leaning against the bar, smirking, scrolling through his phone, like he owns the place. Tracy finally shows up, her Louboutins clicking, looking flustered. She tries to grab Leroy's arm, but he pulls away, cold as ice. Save it, he says, holding up his phone. I've got receipts. Turns out, Chad arranged the whole party, private jet for guests, the works, only to sneak off with Tracy to the guest house during the toasts. Leroy found their messages, all cozy and smug, in Tracy's iCloud. I'm just pruning, but I see Leroy's eyes. Man's not breaking down, he's plotting. Chad's about to learn what happens when you cross me, he says to Derek, who nods like he's been waiting for this. Me? I just keep clipping, but damn, I know a storm's brewing. If you're wondering how it feels to watch a billionaire's world implode, it's like seeing a Ferrari crash in slow motion. Tragic, but you can't look away. Chad thinks he's untouchable, Tracy's playing innocent, but Leroy's got that Marine-level focus I recognize. This ain't over. FR, what would you do if you caught your best friend and fiancé like that? Spill it in the comments. Were you listening from Reddit? Ever seen this kind of betrayal go down in your own life? I've been tending the gardens of this billionaire family's Beverly Hills estate for years, shaping their topiaries and keeping their lawns sharper than a Marine's buzz cut. NGL, working for folks who drop millions on private jets and Versace throw pillows, gives you a front row seat to their drama. This one's about Leroy, a real estate mogul who owns half of California, and his fiancée Tracy, a former runway star who never leaves home without her Chanel shades. Their engagement party was supposed to be the event of the season, but it blew up like a Tesla in a fender bender. Leroy's the kind of guy who closes deals on a Gulfstream G700 mid-flight to Dubai, always in bespoke Tom Ford, calm under pressure. Tracy's his arm candy, posting selfies from their yacht with captions about living the dream. Then there's Chad, Leroy's best friend since prep school, a slick operator who rides Leroy's coattails. Chad's always flexing his Rolex Submariner, acting like he's the one signing the checks. I'm cool with Derek, Leroy's younger brother, who's got no love for Chad. He's a leech, Derek told me once, raking leaves with me to vent. Always sniffing around Tracy. I should have seen the signs. Chad insisted on handling the engagement party, booking the venue, chartering jets for A-listers, the works. Let me take the load off, man, he told Leroy, flashing his phone with confirmations. Meanwhile, Tracy was always planning, with Chad, giggling by the pool in her La Perla bikini, while Leroy was buried in contracts. I'd catch them whispering at the estate's bar, but I figured rich people, right? They flirt for sport. Wrong. Leroy showed me a screenshot from Tracy's iCloud, her and Chad cozy in a penthouse suite, time-stamped during one of Leroy's business trips. Months, Leroy said, voice like steel. They've been playing me for months. Derek wasn't shocked. Said Chad's been stealing Leroy's thunder forever, taking credit for deals, charming clients with Leroy's wine. Now I'm thinking, damn, this ain't just a party gone wrong. It's a betrayal built over years. Leroy's not yelling, though. He's got that cold, calculated look, like he's mapping out a war. Chad and Tracy think they're slick, but Leroy's about to flip the script. FR, you won't believe what's coming next. What would you do with proof like that? Just wait, this family's about to learn karma's got no budget. I'm out here watering the palm trees at this billionaire family's Beverly Hills estate, the kind of place where the driveway's longer than my old Marine obstacle course. The air's still buzzing from Leroy and Tracy's engagement party meltdown, but now it's a whole new level of chaos. Leroy, the real estate kingpin, who could buy half of Cali without blinking, calls me into his office. No Tom Ford suit today, just a black polo, and a look that could cut steel. He's got his laptop open, and damn, what he shows me is straight up wild. Leroy pulls up footage from the estate's smart home cameras, top-tier Nest system, the kind that catches every angle. There's Tracy all dolled up in Dior, sneaking into the guest house with Chad, Leroy's so-called best friend, during the party. They're laughing, clinking glasses of Dom Perignon, and Chad's got the nerve to say, Leroy's too busy counting billions to notice you need more. I'm standing there, host still dripping, thinking this dude's got balls. Leroy's not raging, though. He's calm, like a sniper lining up a shot. He scrolls through Tracy's iCloud, her passwords, her old runway debut date, never changed it, and shows me months of WhatsApp chats. Chad and Tracy planning hookups, joking about Leroy's workaholic ass. One text from Chad reads, he'll never know. Big mistake. Derek, Leroy's brother, rolls in, looking like he's ready to throw punches. He's been on to Chad forever, says he's been skimming ideas at their firm, passing off junior staff's work as his own. Check this, Derek says, tossing me his phone. It's an email from Chad to a client, claiming credit for a deal Leroy closed. I hand it back, thinking NGL, this guy's been screwing Leroy over since day one. Leroy's already on the phone with Wendy, his assistant, telling her to pull every sketchy email Chad's sent from the company server. Every single one, he says, voice like ice. Meanwhile, Tracy's out by the pool, posting Instagram stories in her La Perla bikini, acting like she's still the queen of this castle. She's got no clue Leroy's got her whole game on lock. I overhear her call Chad, giggling about their secret. Lady, your secret's about as safe as a glass yacht. Leroy catches my eye, nods like we're in on something. They think I'm blind, he says, shutting his laptop. Let's see how they like the spotlight. I'm just a guy with a watering can, but I know a storm's coming. Chad and Tracy are about to get hit hard, and Leroy's playing chess while they're stuck on checkers. You feeling this? What would you do with proof like that? Betrayal this bold deserves a reckoning, and it's coming fast. I'm out here fixing the koi pond at this billionaire family's Beverly Hills estate, the kind of place where even the fish live better than most folks. The air's thick with tension after Leroy caught his fiancée Tracy sneaking around with his best friend Chad. NGL, I've seen rich people drama before, but Leroy's not playing the usual game, crying into his Dom Perignon or throwing tantrums. Nah, this guy's got a plan colder than a Marine stare, and I'm just close enough to see it unfold. Leroy's in his study, surrounded by screens like he's running a damn CIA op. He calls me in to move some planters, but really, he's venting strategy. No scenes, no shouting matches, he says, adjusting his Rolex. That's too easy for them. He's got evidence stacked, WhatsApp chats, smart home footage of Tracy and Chad in the guest house, even emails where Chad's been stealing company deals. Leroy's not just mad, he's surgical. He's working with Wendy, his assistant, who's digging through Chad's work emails like a bloodhound. She finds a gold mine, messages where Chad claims credit for Leroy's multi-million-dollar projects, plus some shady side deals with clients. This'll bury him, Leroy mutters, saving files to a thumb drive. Derek, Leroy's brother, swings by, tossing me a water bottle as we talk by the pool. He's been gunning for Chad since forever. That snake's been hitting on Tracy for years, he says, scrolling through his phone. He shows me texts from Robin, Chad's fiancée, who's clueless about his cheating. Leroy's already sent her an anonymous zip file, screenshots of Chad's flirty DMs with Tracy and 2 other models from their firm's gala. Robin's gonna flip, Derek grins, and I'm thinking, this is some 4D chess. Leroy's not stopping there. He's got Wendy cross-checking Chad's expense reports, finding thousands in client dinners that never happened. HR's gonna love this, Leroy says, his voice steady but sharp. Tracy's still strutting around the estate, acting like nothing's up. She corners Leroy by the bar, wearing that Chanel dress he bought her, batting her lashes. Can we talk, babe? She purrs, but Leroy just sips his Macallan and says, sure, later. Later's never coming. I catch him smirking as he texts Wendy to flag Tracy's work emails. She's been using the company server to plan her hookups with Chad. Rookie move. I'm hauling mulch, but I overhear Derek telling Leroy that Robin's planning to confront Chad at the next big charity gala. Let her, Leroy says. I'll make sure everyone sees it. Leroy asks me to drop a package at the office, says it's just paperwork, but I know it's the dossier he's building on Chad. As I load it into my truck, I'm thinking, damn, this guy's playing dirty, but clean. No fists, no yelling, just a slow, deliberate takedown. Chad's out there, still flexing his Balenciaga at some club, posting IG stories like he's untouchable. Tracy's tagging along, thinking she's got Leroy wrapped around her finger. They've got no clue he's about to pull the rug out. I've seen wars, and this is a massacre in slow motion. You feeling the heat yet? What would you do with a traitor like Chad? Leroy's about to show them karma don't care about your net worth, and I'm just here, waiting for the fireworks. I'm out here pruning olive trees at this billionaire family's Beverly Hills estate, the kind of place where even the squirrels look like they're wearing Prada. The fallout from Leroy catching Tracy with his best friend Chad is still rippling, and the vibe's thicker than the smog over LA. Tracy's been dodging the guillotine, but now she's making her move to flip the script, and Leroy? He's not buying it. NGL, watching this unfold is like seeing a soap opera, but with private jets and Birkin bags. Tracy corners Leroy by the infinity pool, decked out in that Versace dress he got her for their last trip to Monaco. She's all tears and trembling hands, mascara streaking like a bad TikTok filter. Leroy, it was a mistake, she sobs, clutching his arm. Chad manipulated me, I swear. I'm nearby, trimming branches, catching every word. She's laying it on thick, saying Chad pressured her, that she was lonely, with Leroy always jetting off for deals. Problem is Leroy's holding his phone, and I see the screen. WhatsApp messages from Tracy to Chad sent last night. When you ditching Robin? We're endgame, right? Yeah, real innocent Tracy. Leroy's face is stone cold, like he's back in a boardroom closing a billion-dollar merger. He lets her ramble, then hits her with, "You done?" and shows her a screenshot of her own texts. Her face goes white, like she just saw her Amex get declined. She stammers, tries to pivot. "You never had time for me." Leroy just sips his espresso, says, "Funny, you had plenty of time for Chad." I'm thinking, damn, this guy's not just winning, he's rewriting the game. Meanwhile, Chad's not sitting idle. I overhear Derek, Leroy's brother, by the garage, laughing about how Chad tried to slide into Wendy's DMs, the assistant who's got all his shady emails. Chad offered her a bonus to lose the files, but Wendy's loyal to Leroy and already forwarded everything to HR. Derek's got his own receipts too. He tells me Robin, Chad's fiancée, got Leroy's anonymous tip and is fuming. She's planning to air his dirty laundry at the upcoming charity gala, where half of LA's elite will be sipping champagne in their balmain. Chad's still clueless, posting IG stories from some rooftop bar, flexing his Rolex like he's untouchable. Tracy's not giving up, though. She posts a cryptic Instagram story, her in a Fendi scarf, staring wistfully at the ocean, captioned, "Betrayed by those I trusted." I catch Leroy smirking as he scrolls through it. He's been digging deeper, found Tracy's been using the company email to set up her meetups with Chad. "Big mistake," he says to Derek, who's lounging nearby in his off-white kicks. "Company logs don't lie." Leroy's got Wendy flagging those emails for HR too, building a case tighter than a Marine's knot. I'm hauling clippings to the compost, but I see Tracy try one last play. She shows up at Leroy's office in his state, all soft voice and puppy eyes, begging for one more chance. Leroy just leans back, his Tom Ford cufflinks glinting, and says, "You'll get what's coming, Tracy. So will Chad." She storms off, heels clicking, oblivious to the storm Leroy's brewing. Derek winks at me, says, Robin's gala speech is gonna be lit. I'm thinking, FR, these two are about to get served karma on a silver platter. You feeling this? Would you fall for Tracy's tears, or is Leroy right to play it ice cold? The gala's next, and trust me, it's gonna be a bloodbath. I'm setting up floral arches for the charity gala at this billionaire family's Beverly Hills estate, where the champagne's flowing and every guest's dripping in Balmain or Givenchy. Leroy's been building his case against his cheating fiancée Tracy and his snake of a best friend Chad, and tonight, it all comes crashing down. NGL, it's like watching a perfectly timed Marine ambush. The gala's in full swing when Robin, Chad's fiancée, takes the stage in a glittering Versace gown. Instead of her planned speech, she projects screenshots of Chad's flirty texts with Tracy and other models, naming him as a serial cheater. The crowd gasps. Chad's face drops like his stock portfolio in a crash. He tries to slink out, but Leroy's already at the door, cool as ice in his Tom Ford suit, whispering something to security. Chad's escorted out, tail between his legs, as whispers ripple through the elite. Back at the estate, Leroy calls me to move some chairs, but he's really unloading. He sent HR a dossier on Chad's stolen deals, fake expense reports, the works. By morning, Chad's fired, is LinkedIn now screaming, open to opportunities. Tracy's not faring better. She shows up at Leroy's study, mascara running, begging for forgiveness. It was all Chad, she cries, but Leroy plays a Nest Cam clip of her giggling with Chad in the guest house. You did this to yourself, he says, voice like steel. Her jaw hits the floor when she gets an HR email. Her work emails planning hookups are under review. I'm sweeping petals off the patio, thinking, damn, Leroy didn't just win. He obliterated them. Chad's out of his Malibu loft, and Tracy's packing for her parents' place. They thought they had Leroy played, but he flipped the board. FR, karma's got no chill. What would you do to a backstabber like Chad? The fallout's just starting, and it's about to get messy, eh? I'm out here fertilizing the rose beds at this billionaire family's Beverly Hills estate, where the fallout from Leroy's takedown of his cheating fiancée Tracy and backstabbing best friend Chad is still shaking things up. NGL, it's been a wild week since that charity gala where Robin aired Chad's dirty laundry. I'm just tending the grounds, but the tea's too hot not to overhear. Leroy's chilling now, sipping Macallan by the pool, in his Zegna polo, looking like he just closed a $1 billion deal. He tells me Chad's out of his Malibu loft. Turns out, Robin was the co-signer, and she's done with him. Chad's LinkedIn's a ghost town, no job, no prospects. Derek, Leroy's brother, says Chad tried begging clients for work, but Leroy's dossier, stolen deals, fake expenses, got him blacklisted in LA's elite circles. He's toast, Derek laughs, tossing me a Gatorade as we chat by the fountain. Tracy's spiraling. She moved back to her parents' place in Orange County, working at their boutique, posting IG stories in knockoff Gucci with captions like, New Beginnings. Leroy showed me her emails blowing up his phone, apologies, then shade like, you were never there. He's not replying, just saving them. Turns out, she used the company email for more Chad hookups and HR sniffing around. Rookie move, FR. Wendy, Leroy's assistant, got a fat promotion for her loyalty, and Derek's digging up more dirt. Chad was shaking down junior staff for favors. Meanwhile, Leroy's met someone new, Clark, an interior designer who's all class, no drama. They're keeping it low-key, but I saw them laughing by the jacuzzi, and Leroy's got that spark back. I'm thinking, damn, karma's working overtime. Chad and Tracy thought they'd play Leroy, but he's out here thriving. You feeling this? Would you let Tracy crawl back or keep the receipts? More's coming, and it's gonna be juicy. I'm cleaning the pool at this billionaire family's Beverly Hills estate, the kind of place where even the water sparkles like it's got a trust fund. The dust's settled since Leroy dismantled his cheating ex-fiancée Tracy and his slimy ex-best friend Chad. NGL, this final act is straight up poetic, like karma pulled up in a Rolls Royce and ran them over. I'm skimming leaves when I spot Chad working at a coffee shop down the street, rocking a stained apron instead of his usual Rolex. He's frothing lattes, looking like he's aged a decade. Turns out, Tracy showed up there, hoping to rekindle their epic love. She got a reality check when Chad admitted he's been couch surfing at his cousin's, lying to her about landing a new gig. Derek, Leroy's brother, tells me Tracy flipped out, screaming about how Chad ruined her life. Pot, meet kettle. Her IG's a mess now, vague posts about toxic vibes from her parents' boutique where she's stuck folding clearance rack Fendi. Leroy's thriving, though. He just inked a $50 million deal and bought a new pad in Malibu. He's dating Clark, the interior designer, and they're planning a low-key getaway to Napa, no drama, just vibes. I catch him by the pool, grinning in his Brioni shades, telling me HR put Tracy on indefinite leave after her shady email surfaced. Chad's blacklisted across the industry, and Robin, his ex-fiancée, dropped a viral Twitter thread about his lies, tanking his last shred of clout. Derek laughs, says Chad's mom even called Leroy to apologize, embarrassed her son scraping by on barista tips. I'm hosing down the patio, thinking, damn, Leroy didn't just win, he rewrote the ending. Tracy and Chad thought they'd outsmart him, but their house of cards collapsed. FR, karma don't play favorites, rich or not. What would you do to bury a betrayal like that? Leroy's living his best life, and I'm just here for the flowers and the tea. Reddit, y'all feeling this finale? Drop your thoughts below. How'd you handle a backstabber like Chad?